Yeah, good evening all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether my screen is visible or not? Yes,
Yes, sir,
Yes,
visible.
sir.
fine. Okay, so in the yesterday session, just I was briefing you about how Python was built, how Python was derived by taking the features from different programming languages and the various applications, real-time applications, right? So please be in mute, everyone. So if you've got any queries, you can just unmute and you can ask. Meanwhile, you can just be in mute. Fine. So there are various real-time applications, right? Okay. Python real-time applications, web applications, right? Mostly used in web applications creations, automation applications like using technologies like data science, IoT, DevOps. So the data science, the prerequisite is Python, right? We have got many ML techniques for implementing all these techniques, right? We require a language. So Python is the mostly chosen or mostly used programming language for data science environment or for implementing machine learning techniques or algorithms. And for IoT also for 90% of the coding in Python, and for DevOps and in AWS for writing automation scripts, Python is preferred. And in even big data, we have got like a Spark for a very high speed processing, means processing huge data in quick time, right? We have got Spark implementation goes in languages like Scala, Python. So Spark with Python we call as PySpark. And for scientific applications or for numerical analysis, we got scientific, we got modules like NumPy module. And for game development, Python mostly used in game development. We have got some frameworks like Pygame, PyCora. These are the frameworks for Python, especially for game development. And PySoy is a 3D rendering library for game development. And for test cases, for testing and for test cases for GUI animation
You are not audible.
I cannot hear anything.
I guess sir have dropped because of net connection. Maybe he'll join back.
The star is not there in the system.
Sar is not there in the session.
Yeah. Yeah, good evening all. Now can you hear my voice? Are you able to see my screen? Can anyone please confirm now? Yeah, there was some connection problem. Okay, sorry for that. Okay. Yes. So here I was just discussing the real-time applications, right? Various, it's used in web applications, automation applications, creations in big data applications, and for game development, for GUI animations, in software development, in business applications, like for creating or for developing e-commerce sites, websites, right? And for database applications, and for network applications, separately we have got a framework called Twisted Python. Python is providing, right? And for embedded applications, we have got a Raspberry Pi, the most famous embedded application like Raspberry Pi, which uses Python scripting. Fine. Some of you saying that it's not audible. Once again, can anyone please confirm that? Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Can anyone please type in the chat panel whether I'm audible or not? Yes. Yeah, fine. Thank you. Yes. For CAD applications, computer-aided design for web scraping, and for computer vision for color and face detections, in robotics, in for data analysis. And who are, yesterday I was just briefing you, right? Which are the applications built by using Python, like Google, right? Google uses Python for its web search systems, and YouTube for video sharing service, Yahoo, Uber, Instagram is built by using Python, and Netflix for its subscription. Okay. NASA uses Python because of its hybrid features. Dropbox, Pinterest, Quora, MMOG, massively multiplayer online games, right? Maya, a powerful 3D animation. Uses Python scripting. BitTorrent for its file sharing service. Ironport email server, it uses more than 1 million lines of Python code to do its job. And companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all this, they use Python for this hardware testing, right? Okay. And as I was just briefing you, like reasons why Python is suddenly super popular. Reasons why Python is suddenly super popular. So the mainly, like, very less coding you are going to see in Python, right? Very less code, very less code. And second is simple syntaxes, simple and easy syntaxes, right? Python is providing simple syntaxes. And third, multi-programming features. You see multi-programming features, multi-hybrid features. You see what are the features you see in different other programmings we see in Python, right? And I said yesterday, like Python we can easily interact with Python. Interactive mode, Python is providing interactive mode. Statement by statement we can interact with Python. It gives response for each and every statement, right? And wide varieties of applications, right? Wide varieties of applications. Many, just now I was briefing you about the Python is not confined to a particular, any kind of applications we can build by using Python. And many built-in libraries, we have got many built-in libraries, Python is providing. Okay. And so this makes Python suddenly super powerful. So we won't see this kind of interactive mode in other programming language, multi-programming features, and simple and easy syntaxes. And the concept of modules is seen only in Python. Nearly thousands of modules, 89,300 inbuilt modules what Python is providing for different domain, right? And wide varieties of applications, mostly used for developing different types of applications. And those who are from non-programming background or for zero programming, right? You can just observe, right, how this Python statements look as compared with other programming? How simple and how easy this Python statements as compared with other programming languages? You can just check. Just I'm going to take a task and I try to implement in multiple languages, right? You can just observe coding wise, complexity wise, length wise. You can check how this Python code looks as compared with other programming, right? Observe this. Python comparison with other programming. Python comparison with other programming, right? Python comparison with other programming. I'll take a task and I'll try to implement in multiple. So I was saying yesterday, I was saying two major programming languages which widely used for enterprise applications creations, Python and Java. Okay, now currently Python is the #1 ranked programming language where it has got diversified number of applications mostly used in the industry for implementation of different high-end technologies. Okay, I'll take a small task and I'll try to implement in multiple languages. I can show you like how this coding of Python compared with other. Accepting two values. Accepting two values. Satish Dundigala, please be in mute. Accepting two numbers, otherwise accepting two values from the user keyboard, right? And performing addition, right? Accepting two values from the user keyboard and performing addition, right? Okay. Observe. First, I'll try to write this code using Java. Next, I'll try to write in Python. You can just observe coding wise how the statements look. Python statements as compared with Java statements. If you have got knowledge on Java, you can just go to the following code. Next, I'll write in Python. So first, import statement, import java.io.star. So I'll just show you the execution in both the languages. You can just compare, right? Class sample, right? Public static void main. String aux throws IO exception. Okay. Input stream reader, right? Input stream reader. New input stream reader, right? Of system.in. Buffered reader, right? BR equal to new buffered reader. ISR. So system.out.println, enter the first number. Enter the first number, right? Okay, whatever number you are entering by default taken as string format. It is taken as string. A string s1 equal to br.readline. Okay, it is taken as string format. Later we need to convert to integer, right? Int I, integer dot parse int, integer dot parse int of s1. Okay, so I'll just repeat these three statements for the second number, right? First accept that's the first second number taken as string format, later convert to integer, right? I will paste in here. Enter the second number, right? String s2 br.readline. Integer equal to integer dot parse int of s2, right? Okay. system.out.println I plus j. Okay. Okay. Now, this is what the, okay, fine. This is what the coding in Java, right? So input stream reader buffer, enter first number taken as string, later converted to integer, second number taken as string, converted to integer. Okay, I plus j. Fine. Now, just I'll copy this to a separate notepad file, right? I'll paste it here. Every statement ends with semicolon in Java, right? Save it, file, save. So I'll just create a separate folder for this batch, right? Python 9 p.m. batch. Python 9 p.m. batch. And I'll save all the Python files within this, right? Python 9 p.m. batch. Okay, here I'm saving this first sample1 dot Java. Sample1 or sample, 1 second. We need to save with sample dot Java, right? With the class name. So just I'll go to this command prompt at the bottom search panel, just to type cmd yes cd slash and go to the path where your file is available, right? Python 9 p.m. Okay, Python 9 p.m. batch, right? Okay. Okay. Java C sample dot Java, right? So no errors. So you can just execute the code. Java sample. It will ask to enter the first number 10, second number 20. Sum is what 30. This is what the coding in Java, right? So I don't know like how many of you have understood this code, right? What is class? What is public static void main, input stream reader, buffer reader, system.out.println, br.readline, integer.parseInt. Okay, enter the second number string s2 integer.parseInt of. Okay. So these statements, okay. So they look little complex to understand if it doesn't have the basic knowledge of Java, right? So nearly you got 10 to 12 lines of code, right? The same task I'll try to implement in Python. So with not more than 3 lines. So Python code is 1/4 as compared with other programming languages, I said, right? So I'm going to write the same task with not more than 3 lines. So just I'll open this IDLE integrated development environment. Dikshit Kumar, be in mute. Fine. File, new file. Okay. So here now I'm just going to write within this Python. X equal to int of input enter value of x. Okay. Input enter value of x. Y equal to input enter value of y. print x plus y, right? Input enter value of x, input enter value of y, print x plus y. That's it. This is that code, right? This is the code. So this is what the coding in Python for the same task, for the same Java task, right? For this task, we are writing the code in Python, right? This is what enter value of x, enter value of y, print x plus y. So I said Python statements look like normal English statements. So you can easily analyze what happens in each statement, right? Enter value of x, whatever you enter will be stored by x. Enter value of y, whatever you enter will be stored by y. Print x plus y. That's it. And here, just like Java, here also in Python, whatever you are entering, right, will be taken as string. Later you can convert it to integer type. Just say int of. It's very simple, right? Typecasting int of. Int of, right? Int of input enter value of y. That's it. So here why I'm saying enter value of x taken as string, convert to integer and store in x. Enter value of y taken as string, converts to integer and stores in x. Save it. Okay, I'm saving it like that. .py extension, right? Run module, run module, right? Enter value of x 10, enter value of y 20, right? Sum is what? 30. See how simple this Python statements. So I was just showing you this Java code, right? So without knowledge of Java, are you able to understand these statements? What is class, public static, what is input stream reader, buffer reader? Okay, but here without any knowledge of Python, are you able to understand these statements, right? Python statements, enter value of x, enter value of y, print x plus y. So without any knowledge on Python, you can easily understand these statements of Python. Some more examples I give, right? So more examples on this Python. So to make you understand, right? Without any knowledge on Python, you can understand these Python statements. Okay. For example, I'm taking some values, right? 20, 30, 10, 50, 40, right? 20, 30, 10, 50, 40, right? I've taken some elements. In generally in C language, in other languages, we say array of values. But here in Python, we say list of values, right? List of values. So print x prints the entire list. Observe the statements. I want to know the number of elements within this list. Here only 5, but if you have got some hundreds of elements, I want to find the length, len of x. It returns 5 elements, right? And I want to find the sum 20 plus 30 plus 10 plus 50 plus 40. I want to find the sum of the list elements. Print sum of x. Sum of x means sum of these list elements. 20 plus 30 plus 10 plus 50 plus 40. It will give the sum of all the elements of that list. In other programming, we will initialize sum as 0. You will iterate one by one element. You will add one by one element to that sum. Finally, you will return the sum. But here, just say sum of which list? X list. It returns the sum. If you want to find the max element of that list, just say max of x. No need to compare with each and every element. Just say max of x. Similarly, like min of x returns the minimum element, right? Observe this output. Run module. So length is 5, sum is 150, max element is 50, min element is 10. If you want to arrange all these elements in a particular order, ascending order, right? So you can just say we have got one more built-in property like sorted of x, right? Okay. Okay, just observe the statements. run module 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 in ascending order, right? Arranging all the elements in a particular order. No need to write codings here. And if you want in descending order, right, there is no separate function available, but same sorted of x only. If I reverse ascending order, if I reverse that ascending order, I will get in descending order, right? Just to say reverse equal to true. Just to say reverse equal to true. So you will get in descending order. By default, reverse will be false. If I say reverse equal to true, you are reversing the result of this. So you will get in descending order. Observe this 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Okay, in this way, if I want, there are 5 elements. I want to add a new element x to the x list. I want to append a new element, right? Like 70. I'm appending a new element 70. Now print x. That's it. You are adding a new element 70. So 70 got added, right? Appended at the end of the list. So in the same way, like if I want to remove an element x from the x list, remove which element? I want to remove 30. So 30 gets removed. If I say print x, you won't see 30 now, right? run module. So 30 has got removed, right? So 70 got appended, 30 has got removed. So in this way, you can work with this. We have got many functionalities like sum, len, max, min, sorted. Fine. So, and also I was saying like in the last session, like Python supporting the concept of modules, right? That's giving this concept of modules. Nearly 89. Python has got a great boom in today's industry, right? Because of these modules and Python's how to print the second value of the list, right? Okay, there is a query asked how to print the second element of a list. If you want to print it, okay. Observe, I want to print this 30, right? Here itself, I'll say print x of 0 means this first element, x of 1 means second element. So indexing starts with 0. X of 0 means it prints the first element. 20. Print x of 1 means it prints the second element. Observe here, I'm printing one by one element. X of 0 means 20, x of 1 means 30. Observe. So observe here, if I x of 0 means 20, it is printing, x of 1 means 30. Second element, if you want to print x of 1, you should say, right? 30. Yes. Understood. Sandosh. Fine. In this way, we have got indexing, right? Indexing, slicing. Okay, fine. We have got a lot of discussion on this list, right? List indexing, list slicing, list functions, list methods, list addresses, list at list modifications, right? So just I was discussing Python supports nearly 89,300 modules for various domains. For data science, it is providing separate modules for big data, for networking, for animations, for desktop applications, for generating graphs, for generating. Okay. You may ask, what is the importance of module? What is a module first? And what is the importance of modules? Now, just I'll give you small examples. I'll give some sample snippets of Python. So two things you can understand, the importance of modules in Python, and second is you can observe the coding of Python, how it looks, right? 89,300 modules. So I'll just discuss a very commonly used module. 1 second. Just observe the statements of Python. You can just check the importance of module and the coding of Python, how it looks. A very commonly used module like math module, right? If you want to see the directory, what is present within this math module. So 89,300 inbuilt modules present in Python. For example, you don't know how to work with a module, how to use a module, what a module consists. You can check what is the directory of that math module, what is present within the math module, right? Okay. Just now I created a folder for this batch, right? Python 9, okay, 9 p.m. batch. Okay. Any name.py extension you can give, right? If I say run module, right, you can see that properties present within this math module. What are the various properties present within the math module? All this: sine, square root, tan, a variable like pi, a variable like tau, a variable like e. So if you want to print the values, right, print within the math module, we have got a variable like pi, and within the math dot e. So I want to print the variable values, math dot pi, math dot e. Just observe the statements. It is printing the pi value 3.14. It is printing the e value 2.71. So just I'm going to show you some sample examples of Python. You have got, assume that you have got zero knowledge in Python. You doesn't have anything, right? Just observe the statements. Are you able to understand or not? For example, you don't know how to use a particular functionality present within a module, right? You don't know how to use the square root. How to use the square root, you doesn't know, right? Now, Python is going to help you with the syntax, general format. There is a function called help function. Help on what? Within the math model, I want sqrt. So help on math dot square root. Within the math model, square root, I want help. Just say run module, right? Help on built-in function square root in the module math. Okay, square root expecting one value, it returns the square root of that value. So it is asking just to give one value, it returns the square root of that value. Okay, you got the syntax right. Now we can use it. So print within the math module, you have got square root. So it is asking to provide one value, square root. It is asking you to provide some value. I'm providing 16. It should return the square root of 16. Now check it whether it is returning the square root of 16 or not. You got the output 4, right? So if you provide a value, it returns the square root of that value. You have provided 16, it is providing that output 4. Similarly, if you doesn't know, write one more functionality like POW, right? So if you want to check how to use this power function, help on math.pow, math.power. Help on within the math model. I want to know about power. You can just check it. Python is going to help you with this syntax, right? Okay. Help on built-in function power in the module math. Power expecting two values, it returns x to the power of y, x to the power of y, right? You are providing two values x comma y, it returns x to the power. This double star indicates power symbol in Python, right? Single star means multiplication, double star means power symbol. Okay, returns x to the power of y. So it is asking you to provide two values, it returns that power of. Print math dot power of 10 comma 3 x comma y 10 comma 3 means it gives that output like 10 to the power of 3, that is 1000, right? This is what 1000, right? In this way you can get help on any functionality present within the module, and you can work with any module, whatever module, right? Like if you know the model, you can know the functionalities present within it. With function we cannot know the model name, right? If you know any function in which model it is present, in reverse manner you cannot. Generally a model is a collection of functions. If you know that model, what functionality is present within that, you can come to know. Fine. Now for example, one more example. So the importance, because of this modules concept only, we can see like Python providing models for every domain. Now one more example. This time I was saying like generating graphs in Python is very simple and easy as compared with other programming. So for that also we have got a model like matplotlib for plottings and visualizations. We have got a model called matplotlib. So just 3 lines, just I'll write 3 lines code for generating a graph in Python. So just you observe this coding of Python, the importance of models in Python. Later I'll just go with introduction to Python. Okay, fine. Import matplotlib. I'm importing a model called matplotlib. Within that we have got a property called pyplot. Import matplotlib.pyplot. Okay, so this is that we have got a built-in property. Okay, instead of using this very big name, right? Instead of using this very big name, we can use shortcut name or alias name for this, as p you can say, or plt, or any name, right? So import this model matplotlib.pyplot as plt, shortcut name or alias name, plt.plot. I want to plot. For plotting we require x coordinate and y coordinate, right? So here x and y coordinates. Randomly I'm taking values like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, right? 1 2 3 4. Okay, so for these 4 x coordinates, like y coordinates are like this. 3 4 5 2. I've taken some y coordinates like this. This is x and this is y coordinates. Plot a graph for this x and y coordinates 4 and 4. Okay. Now plt dot show. Now save it. Any name dot py, right? Now if I execute it, okay, now we can check a graph is going to get generated in this manner. You got a graph like this, right? Okay. 1 3 2 4 3 5 4 2, right? Yes. Yes, we have got, right? We have got, yes, Nurbasha. Like if you want to know the all the built-in functions and built-in classes of Python, yes. Yes, I'll just say built-ins. There is a model called built-ins model, which consists of all the built-in functions and built-in classes. You got this graph, right? Yes, observe this. So this x coordinates and y coordinates. Now, for example, if you take a small use case, right? For example, age is like 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and 60 years, right? Age wise, income, how is the income, right? For example, 30 years, it's like 30,000. 40 years like 40,000, and 50 years like 35,000, and 60 years like 50,000. These are the values given for age values and income values. Plot a graph for this based on age and income. 4 age values are given and 4 income values are given. Based on that, see that age wise how are the incomes. So 30 years 30,000, 40 years 40,000, 50 years 35,000, 60 years 50,000, right? So you have got a solid graph like this, but I doesn't want a solid graph, I want a dotted line graph. So just keep comma here and just say hyphen hyphen, that's it. You will get a dotted line graph in this manner, like a dotted graph, right? And I doesn't want this dotted graph, I want like point marker, just to give over here, right? There are some abbreviations that we'll be discussing while we discuss this graph concepts, right? So I'm just saying without any knowledge, just you can just understand these Python statements, the importance of models, how to generate graphs. Sorry, it's not OS, it's O, right? It's O, it's not OS. Run module, right? Okay. You'll get like pointed format in this way. 30, 30,000, 40, 40,000, 50, okay, 35,000, 60, 50,000, right? Okay, in this manner. Hyphen, right? Hyphen, okay. You will get like this. Dotted format. By default, the color of the graph is in blue color, but if you want some different color, right? You can specify comma, you can keep and just say COLOR color equal to red color, right? That's it. Run mod. You will get in red color in this way, right? For example, you want some x-axis label plt dot x label, plt dot x label, right? You want like age, plt dot y label, right? Just say income. Okay, and I want some title for the graph, plt dot title, demo graph. What is the advantages of Python instead of using Java, right? Sumit Chavan, right? So what is the advantage of Python means using Java, you cannot go for automation applications. You cannot write scripts, automation scripts like in AWS DevOps scripts automate. Okay, and for machine learning in AI, ML, and okay, DL, right? For implementing those, Java is never preferred. Java doesn't have the concept of modules, plottings, visualizations. Means for data science related, for artificial intelligence, and for ML, right? For implementing, right? Java is never preferred. And for writing automation scripts in IoT, in robotics, in AWS DevOps, right? This Python is mostly preferred. Yeah, yes, right. So for this data science and machine learning, for all this, right? Python is the prerequisite. Okay, total that coding goes in Python language, right? And one more like Pratik Bharatwaj. So in Python, Python supports dynamic data types, right? Python supports dynamic data. Okay, first observe this output of this graph. I'll come back to your query, right? So here, if you want X label means X-axis label. Can you see this age? Y-axis label, this income, can you see? Title, you can see like this demo graph, right? So you can just give this titles. Okay, and one more, like Python supports dynamic data types. Observe this. If you compare with C or C++ or Java, right? compared with Python. Python supports dynamic data types. Fine. Fine. Observe here. In the case of these programming languages, right, we need to, if I want to define a variable like int x equal to 10, float y equal to 4.5, something in decimal parts. If you want in characters like string z equal to within quotes hello, right? But in the case of Python, no need to define this data type. Directly I can say x as 10, say y as 4.5, z as hello. No need to define this data types in Python. But you may ask a query, right? What kind of variable x is means by seeing this, you are saying it's an integer variable. What kind of variable y is? By defining this, you are saying it's float variable, right? This z is what? String variable. But in Python, what kind of variable x is means what value you have assigned to it, what value you have assigned. If you are assigning integer value, integer variable gets created dynamically, right? If you are assigning a float value, like float variable is getting created. Y is what? Float. We have got a function called type function, type of fine. It's float type. Why it is float means you assigned a float value. Here z equal to hello. You have assigned a string value. So type of z is string type. Why it is string means you have assigned a string value. So based upon what value you are assigning to x, depending upon that, the variable x is created dynamically here in Python, right? So that's why we call as dynamic data types. No need to define, right? So yesterday I was just saying the same in the interactive mode. If you go to this interactive mode and just type Python here, we can easily interact with Python statement by statement. Yeah, Scala programming. Yes, Scala is also a programming language where we won't see that modular programming concept in Scala. Scala also, it's a functional programming, it's object oriented, and you can write scripts. But modular programming concept, modules concept, you won't see in Scala, right? Like thousands of modules Python is providing for different domains, right? But that modules concept you won't see in Scala. Scala is the only native language for Spark. Means only in a big data Hadoop and Spark, right? Only Spark uses that Scala, but no other application you have got, right, for Scala. Only in big data. For big data applications, you can go for Scala language, right? But Python not only for big data, for data science, for animations, for game development, for desktop applications, for embedded applications, for networking testing. So we have got wide varieties of applications where it has got modules for every domain, right? Every domain it has got modules. If you go for big data, Python providing pandas module. For data science, it is providing models like NumPy, Matplotlib, CP, scikit-learn, and even for so for different domains, different models. For every database, it is providing a module. Just saying it's C is a functional programming and object-oriented programming, C++, like we have got the concept of class and object. Means object-oriented programming, everything deals with object, right? And C is a functional programming. There is fine. Okay, here if I want to, yes.
So I have one question. Like whatever, like you're teaching right now, it's getting recorded. So will we receive the like recorded lectures by the end of the day, or like we'll have to provide some extra fees or something like that in order to access the recorded lectures?
So no, actually, so one more thing I'm going. So this is a offer batch given by DurgaSoft. So actually, you see like 100 hours I said, right? So the charge was 10,000, but it is
Okay.
50%. Okay, it's just you are getting this batch for only 5,000, right? So the course fee is only 5,000 for all this course content as discussed yesterday. So and you will be getting the video of every session, right? Every session video you will be getting, no extra charge for it.
Sir, so when will we receive that video? By the end of the day or like how?
So okay, it's a IST timing. It's already the class gets completed at 10 o'clock, right? It's 9 to 10 IST time. So tomorrow early morning you will be receiving the video of today's session.
On our email, right?
So you will be getting to you the Google Drive.
Google Drive. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, everyone you'll be receiving the videos, right? It's not so a link will be given. If you open that link, you can just daily the video will be uploaded to that drive link will be provided to you. If you just click it, you can just see the daily video will be uploaded to that. Okay, it's not downloadable, but you can just view the video, right? And the notes you will be getting to your mail IDs, clear notes of whatever topics we discussed, right? You will be getting to your mail IDs. So just today I was just showing you some sample examples, right? So some of them were asking like they were from non-programming or zero programming already. So they can just check like Python coding looks very simple and easy as compared with other programming. And the advantage of modules in Python, right? So used in various domains. So it has got some built-in functions. You can use it for performing different operations in Python, right? So I'll be just covering, I was saying like I'll be covering some advanced modules in Python, like Python database connections, Python providing models for different databases, and some models related to operating system, models related to graphics, some models related to data science, like NumPy model, Pandas model, and Matplotlib model. This time I'm going to cover these models in brief, in depth, right? Some models related to data science, some related to database, some OS model, some models related to web scraping data from websites, and some graphic model I'll be discussing, and a regular expression model, multi-threading model. So in this way, and how to create our own models in Python. Fine.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir. So how long will you get the access for this Google Drive, sir? It's a lifetime.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah. One second. Yeah. You'll be having the access, right? Okay, like minimum like 2 years, I hope, right? For 2 years you can access that videos. I'll let you know in tomorrow, right? What is that?
And sir, I did not understand that notes part. Like when will we receive that notes, and like everyday notes we will get, or like all at once we'll get the notes?
No. Every alternate days or every 2 days we'll be getting the notes to your mail. Means when the topic, for example, a topic gets completed, you will get the notes of the topic. Next topic wise you'll be getting, right? For every 2 or 3 days you'll be getting the notes to your mail IDs. Fine.
I'm sorry, but I think I missed this part, like the Python installation. Sir, did you teach that yesterday? I'm sorry, like I think I missed it because I.
No. In the tomorrow session we are going with that, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So tomorrow, in the tomorrow session, I'll be just entering into this Python technicals, right? So first I'll be starting with the Python versions, what we are using, what is the current version, what are the stable versions of Python software for something about you need to see about Python software foundation, what it is, and Python installation, step by step, how to download it, how to install it. It hardly takes 2 to 5 minutes to install Python, right? Okay, how to download it, how to install it, that I'll be showing you in step-by-step process. And I'm going to show you like in real time we go with Python IDEs like Jupyter Notebook, PyCharm, Spider, Eclipse, right? I'll be discussing those once we are done with little bit of technical content. I'll show you in real time how to go with this IDEs, how to execute the code in the various IDEs, because Python is used for different environments, for data science, for web applications creations, for networking. So in different environments, different IDEs Python is providing. I'm going to give you the knowledge on all the IDEs that Python uses for different, okay, how to download, how to install, step-by-step process, right? Fine.
Sir, I have a question. So, like, will it support all the operating systems like Windows, Macintosh?
Yes. So Python is a cross-platform language where it supports all that. Like you can install Python on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. In Linux, already Python comes as a inbuilt along with this Linux OS. Whatever Linux flavor you are using, like Ubuntu or CentOS or Red Hat Linux, by default Python comes as an inbuilt, no need of any separate installation in the case of Linux environment. So if you want the latest version, then you can update with a command like apt-get install. The small command is there, apt-get install Python 3.9. Okay, what version you are using. Okay, but in Mac, for Mac or Windows, we have got, tomorrow I'll just show you how to download. Okay, for Windows or for Mac, right? Or where to download, how to download, and how to install. Step-by-step process I'll be discussing in the tomorrow session.
Okay, what about like memory? Like, will it consume more memory? Means in order to install or anything?
No, 1 second. So Python software size is of this 27 MB. The software size is of 27 MB. It hardly takes 1 to 2 minutes for installing Python. It's not, it won't occupy a lot of memory, right? But later, if you want to install like domain specific modules, right? For example, if you're from some particular domain, you want the domain specific modules to be installed, right? How to install them? It also takes 1 to 2 minutes. Like we have a component called pip that I'll be demonstrating while we discuss modules concept, right? But all the modules, 89,300 modules, you are not going to get along with Python software. If you see all those modules, Python software size won't be 27 MB, it will be in GBs of size. So, but domain specific modules, how we can download and how to install. So automatically downloading and installation, everything takes responsibility by the component called pip. Just pip install the module name. If you give it downloads and it will install. It hardly takes 1 to 2 minutes, right?
It's a GUI based installation or silent installation or backend installation.
So okay, if you want to install within the IDs, I'll show right how within the IDs how we can install, and within this command prompt how we can install those in your system, right?
Okay.
I'll just show
and
you.
what
It's not a
and
big
what
thing. It's a very small process. If we discuss one, you can just go with the same process for all the other modules, right?
Okay, so like as so many projects, most of the projects are like Java old projects only. So like how the integration is going to be like with the Python with the Java?
Okay, so okay, yes, Python has got different flavors, right? Python has got flavors. Python is providing many flavors, like we have got C Python. See, we have got like C Python for C language, Jython for Java, Jython, Java Python, Iron Python for .NET. See, for Iron Python is for .NET environment, Python with .NET, Jython for Java and Python, C Python for, okay, and Anaconda Python for large scale processing, right? So we have got some flavors in Python, right? Like C Python, Jython, Iron Python, Anaconda Python flavors Python is providing for integration with different environments, right?
Okay, what about, but this core Python will support all the things, right? Like Python, Anaconda Python, and
So
everything.
the standard one that what we use is C Python, right? Standard. Okay. So even we have got different IDs, I said, like Jupyter, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, like we have got those things. I'll be giving you the knowledge on all those, how to download and how to install them, so that you will get the real-time exposure on this, how to work with those IDs, right?
Means like a core Python and advanced Python will support all the like C language.
So there is
Yeah.
one thing, actually there is no concept of core Python or advanced Python, right? So those are the terms given in this in this training sites, but there is no concept of core Python advanced. Everything core Python means basic Python, advanced concepts we say advanced. That's totally we call it as Python. So Python has got all that means it supports multi language, multi programming, like what all the programming language you see in the market, all their features you see in Python. Object oriented programming features, scripting features, modular programming features, and procedural oriented functional programming features. What all the programming features you see, everything are seen in Python. Means you can develop any kind of applications. That's the reason Python is general purpose programming language. It's not purpose based, not for a specific purpose. Like if you take any other programming language, they are purpose based. They're used for specific purposes. Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, any other queries, right? And so tomorrow just I'll be going with that. I'll be entering into the technical part of Python. So I want the sessions to be interactive only. Everyone, you will be kept in unmuted status only, so that you can interact. If you've got any query, then and there you can unmute and you can ask me through voice, or you can type that query in the chat panel. And so I was saying, like, I'll be giving some every Friday, like I'll be giving some assignments and tasks to work with. So everything will be going with step-by-step process, how to develop the code. That's why I'm saying 100 hours will be taking to get the command in the entire Python, right? And nearly like 250 to 300 code examples I'll be covering as part of this course.
So hi Vijay.
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Yeah, Vijay. So post this course, so do we have any sections for particularly for PySpark for data, big data development kind of work?
So one thing, yes, Pradeep, right?
Yeah, correct.
So yes, Pradeep, like Spark is an execution model like implemented using Python language, right? So that generally people from different domains will be updating with Python, right? So already you need to have the knowledge on the domain, right? Domain related and implementation in Python. So if you have got knowledge on the Spark, right? Spark APIs, like we have got concept of RTDs, data frames,
Data sets,
Spark, Spark core like Spark SQL, Spark streaming, DS streams, right? So that implementation, like how to define the variables in. So generally we can code that Spark in 3 languages like Scala, Python, and Java also. But you can prefer any language. So it's just as an execution model. You can implement once you know the Python, right? You can just implement in Python also. The way how to define that variables in Python, functions, that collections, everything. Okay, how to work with that. And even we have got some modules also for PySpark, right? Spark implementation with Python. I do handle PySpark batches also. I do handle like big data, Hadoop, and Spark.
Okay.
So
today regarding that course details, I need to touch with DurgaSoft, right?
So yesterday, like a new big data Hadoop batch is started at evening 5 p.m. Right?
Okay.
A big data Hadoop batch, Hadoop and Spark both will be covered. Okay. So you can just check with DurgaSoft for that, right?
Actually, I'm having one more doubt actually. So I'm actually background from Scala along with Spark. So I would like to know in Python. So this if I joined this course means it will be very helpful to understand the PySpark things, right?
So now you will get the command and Python language, how to work with the models, how to use the models, right?
Okay.
So with that knowledge, if you already got knowledge on Spark, you can just define those things using Python. You can write that code in Python, right? So generally we use this Python for writing the code in big data Spark. In data science we use this. The coding goes in Python. In data science or in Spark with Python, right? So you can get the knowledge, total knowledge on that, right? Fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Fine. So that's the thing. I was showing you some models related to different domains I'm going to cover as part of this course.
Okay.
Some models related to Pandas model I'll be covering. Okay, for Pandas, like huge data, like how to perform different types of operations using Pandas model. And for data science, NumPy model I'll be covering, Matplotlib model, plottings and visualizations, different types of graphs, how to different like normal graph, bar graphs, histogram, scatter plots, stack plots, and pie graph, and some OS related tasks, administrative related tasks, and graphic related things, and working with files, different types of files, JSON files, XML files, CSV files, Excel files, how to read, how to write, how to create them. Everything will be discussed as part of this, right? Yeah.
Okay, Vijay. Yeah, you mentioned right before one point, like so there is a batch going on for big data along with Hadoop and Spark. So in this, what combination of language you are going through, like Java, Spark, or Python with Spark, or Scala with Python?
See, actually Spark by default
Yes,
built
sir.
by using Scala language.
Yeah,
Spark
okay.
by default built by using Scala. It's the native language of Spark. Scala is the native language of Spark.
Yeah.
So generally most of them ask Spark with Scala. So I'll be using Scala language there. But
Okay.
people who get updated with Python at the end of that course, I also give knowledge on. Means if you go with Spark with Scala, at the end I'll also give how to do the same things using Python, PySpark.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Okay. So you can just so if anyone, like some of you were asking the queries related to the payment process and that, right? So just I hope, I think they need to, in the tomorrow session they will be giving their details about that. I think already you have got some mails related to that payment process, other things, right? Or you can just make a note if anyone like we have got an online team, DURGASOFT online team. You can take a number for this if you have got any
Hello,
queries
sir.
related to 924. Just 1 second, please. So you can just make a note of this, DURGASOFT online team 9246212143. Anything related to the course or videos or fees, these things other than technical, you can just contact this number. And also tomorrow also they will provide the entire details, right? Okay, fine. Yeah, someone was asking a query, right?
Yeah, sir, this is Teja.
Yes.
So are we doing any real-time project at the end?
So at the end I'll be showing one project, right? Okay.
And I have a question. So like in Java, so similar to Java, like we have the frameworks like a Spring Boot, right? In the same way, in the Python, do we have like a supporting frameworks?
Yes, exactly. Yes, for Python also we have got frameworks like Django framework, Flask framework, Pyramid framework,
Mhm.
Bottle framework, Turbo Gear, sorry, BOTTL, and Turbo Gear, right? We have got these frameworks, but the most famous one or commonly used one is Django framework. This is the mostly used framework for interactive web applications creations with Python. Okay, so if you people are interested, I will be having some batches started already. Some will be started in the coming days, right? For this Django framework.
So this topic will not be covered in the core and core or advanced, right? The Django framework.
The 100 hours, whatever we are discussing, will be on total command on this Python language core and advanced, right? For this Django, I'll be taking separate like 50 to 60 hours separate, right? For web applications creations, where I'll be showing like a 25 applications creations with the Django framework. Okay, fine. Later, people, if you are interested on that, you can just go for that, right? Fine. Okay. Any other queries? So tomorrow also people can attend the session to see more on this Python, the installations, execution modes, other things, right? So if I'm done with your queries, I'll just stop here. If you have got any more queries, you can also ask in the tomorrow session. So I'm stopping here for today. Meet you tomorrow, same time. Okay. PySpark alone also we have got batches, right? We can just discuss with this online team. Fine. Okay. So okay, fine. Any more queries? Okay.
So how can you done payment through any like bank transfer or any Google Pay or something like that? Is this any specific?
I think you people have got any mails through DurgaSoft. You can check your mails. They have process. They have
Not yet.
given that payment process things. Okay. Otherwise, you'll be getting that by tomorrow. Already they've said they have forwarded that process procedure. Otherwise,
Okay.
you'll be getting by tomorrow, right? Mails. You can check your mails. Registered mails, or whatever mail ID you have provided, right? And one more thing, those who are providing that mail IDs, right, try to give that exact mail ID, because the videos will be forwarded to that Google Drive, that Gmail ID only. And while opening also, the registered mail ID only, if you provide, then only that videos gets opened, right? Check that you are giving that mail ID correctly for getting the videos to your Google Drives. Okay, So the payment process, everything you will be updated. You'll be getting that mail IDs in the mails tomorrow, and tomorrow in the sessions also they'll be sharing that payment process in the chat panel, right? Fine. Fine. Okay, we are running out of time. So if you've got any queries, still you can ask in the tomorrow session. Everyone, you can just join that tomorrow same time with the same link. Yes, thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Fine.